Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto gives a boost to pro-democracy calls a day after House arrest. And California in a state of emergency after a ship collision causes a massive oil spill. This is The World Tonight. I'm David Nye. We begin in Kuala Lumpur, where Malaysian police break up a rally. Tens of thousands of people defy the government ban. Reports say it was the biggest anti-government demonstration in a decade. They're calling for fair and clean elections. A leading human rights group, Swaram, says 23 people have been arrested.
The rain failed to stop the protesters. Different groups rallied at separate spots in Kuala Lumpur city centre. Some later converged at the Palace of Malaysia's King, where they handed over a list of electoral reform demands. The protest was organised by a loose coalition of 26 opposition parties and civil society groups. It was led by opposition politician Anwar Ibrahim, who says he is happy with the turnout despite the government's condemnation. The rally went ahead despite roadblocks leading to central Kuala Lumpur. Hundreds of riot police were also stationed at the landmark Independence Square, where the rally was supposed to converge initially. They were armed with tear gas, water cannons, shields, and batons, with helicopters hovering overhead. Authorities have condemned the street demonstrations.
Kerana bila ada perhimpunan seperti ini, sudah tentu ada juga mereka yang mengambil kesempatan untuk melakukan jenayah ataupun merosakkan harta benda kepunyaan orang ataupun harta benda awam, dan kesannya adalah tidak baik kepada pandangan umum terhadap masyarakat kita.
Prime Minister Abdullah Badawi had also said the government would not tolerate protests. He came to power after winning by a landslide 3 years ago.
Well, Channel News Asia's Malaysia correspondent Melissa Goh gave us an update on the situation in Kuala Lumpur.
Well, the crowd has dispersed by now. According to confirmed reports, police have arrested more than 20 protesters. Some were injured, including one foreign journalist. There's been some confusion over the exact number of people that were involved in today's rally, but easily more than 10,000, as we can see, took to the streets this afternoon, gathering and protesting in at least 3 different locations, namely at the National Mosque, the National Palace, while some were at the Independence Square or in downtown Kuala Lumpur at the capital. Now, it's the biggest turnout so far. In fact, the opposition is hailing it a success, despite heavy rain, tight security presence, and roadblocks all across the capital.
Melissa also tells us what the protesters hope to achieve.
The group, which is a loose coalition among 26 opposition parties and civil societies, want their call to be heard. Their demands for electoral reform, for a free and fair election, they said have fallen on government's deaf ears so far. Now they're appealing to the king as a last resort, the head of state, hoping that that will, at least make Prime Minister Abdullah's administration listen, and some actions hopefully will be taken, especially with the next general elections might be expected to be held early next year. Now, Malaysia's electoral system has long been plagued or dogged by criticism of vote buying, phantom voting, biased election commission, etc. And the opposition and as well as civil societies really hope that this will help to bring at least some reforms to the current system.
Other news now, Pakistani